How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and welcome back to Box to Box. There's 4 games left of the Premier League season. There are 4 cup finals, as you know, a lot of fans are saying, and they are for Arsenal Football Club. You know, with top 4, the light at the end of the tunnel this season, every game is massive. And with Tottenham playing Liverpool away this weekend, hopefully that's an opportunity for us to increase the gap between us from 2 points to whatever it may be at the end of the weekend. But we've got to get past Leeds first, and Leeds are in their very own battle at the other end of the table in terms of relegation. I brought with me Kagey, a good friend of mine. What are you saying, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. But like you say, 4 cup finals, it feels the exact same way for us too. So we're in the same boat, but for unfortunately very different reasons.
Yeah. I spoke to you earlier this season as well. You wasn't on the first Box to Box, but I speak to you regularly throughout the season. I don't think you expected this in the second season. You know, is it somewhat of a shock this season?
Well, actually, I was on the first box to box with you.
Oh, did this season's one, yeah?
Yeah. This
Oh,
season,
okay.
yeah.
I thought you was
But
on the one at the end of last season.
no. But at the time when we spoke, I was looking forward to a decent January window. You know, maybe even taking Ainsley Maitland-Niles off you on loan. He went to Roma. We didn't do anything. So it's very different from then till now. And the culmination of the season is because of all of these mess ups throughout the year, recruitment, lack of recruitment, Bielsa system at the time. You know, I don't know if you want to get into that, but just a culmination of everything. I mean, we've got 34 points in 34 games. It's atrocious. It's been a poor year. And for me, it's because the board and Bielsa got too comfortable with the squad. They thought they could run it back. You know, we finished in a very good position last year, ninth, which was excellent. But they didn't build on it. They just stood still.
Yeah, I know what you mean, because in that first season, it's all good and well, you know, trusting the players that brought you into the Premier League. But in the second season, you have got to build upon it. And any regrets with the Bielsa sacking, or was it? Because you know, has much changed since?
Yes, the big score lines don't really appear that much. I know we just lost 4-0 to City, but
That's Man
in
City.
all in all fairness, if you watch the game, it wasn't really a 4-0. But listen, that's where we are right now. In when Bielsa left, though, for me, there's something had to change. Um, you know, as my subscribers love to remind me, when I did that review for Leeds Tottenham and we lost 4-0, I just didn't know where we were going but down. I thought that was
Yeah,
the only place we were going with Bielsa. I said I think something had to change. It was obviously the only thing you can change from there is the manager. And as sad as it is that he didn't get to complete the season, I think we would have kept getting beatings like that through the next few weeks. So it was a necessary change into Jesse Marsh, who's more of a motivational manager compared to Bielsa, who's a real tactician and coach like that.
yeah. Funnily enough, though, when I'm looking at the recent form, it's not that bad if I'm honest. It's more
Mm.
so February where you didn't win a game, and a couple of weeks in March to start with where you didn't win a game that really has put you in this relegation battle. When I look at your last 6 fixtures, you've won 3 of them. You know, we've won 3 of them over this side. It happens to be we've won our last 3, but you know, you've got a couple of big wins in there. Watford, obviously, away was a big win. Wolves away is a big win as well. You drew to Southampton, you drew to Palace, 2 teams that we've lost to recently. So your recent form isn't that bad. Obviously, the Man City result is the Man City result. That's Man City. They do that to the majority of the teams in the league.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, are you confident with this recent form, or are you looking at Everton and Burnley, who are also Burnley in particular, very good form at this stage of the season?
That's it. It's Burnley. They're the ones that have been on a brilliant run, and you got to give them all the credit in the world. Post Sean Dyche makes you wonder who was the problem, you know, with how they're playing now compared to before. But they've gone on a run which has made our run look okay. But when you compare the two, we went on a really good run. The good points in there, what Jesse Marsh had to do, he did. We're not going to beat the better teams because we're not equipped to do that anymore. It's about grinding out results. And you mentioned that 1-1 against Southampton. Southampton have been on the beach with everyone else, but they came to Ellen Road to play. Since then, they've lost to Burnley themselves. They've lost to Palace. It's those things that are going to probably affect us. Am I confident? I like the way that we're going, and I think that Everton, yes, they beat Chelsea, but there's still a lot of question marks with them. I think it's going to be. I think it's going to go to the end of the season, unfortunately. Uh, but hopefully, we can do enough in the next 4 games because, like I say, This one, Chelsea at home. Chelsea just before they got to play a cup final. Then it's Brighton and Brentford, who haven't really got anything to play for. So still got a very good chance. It's not over just yet.
Yeah, and we've got Everton on the last day of the season, so if you need us to beat them, hopefully we do the job and still fall for ourselves. In terms of this game, KG, like you said with the Man City result, maybe the scoreline flattered them a little bit. There was some more fight there than a 4-0 suggests. What were you expecting against Arsenal?
It was funny actually. The box of box I did is one on the back of when we lost to Man City 7-0. Oh, I got a bad
Oh,
flashback now.
yeah,
Yeah,
it was.
yeah. Trust me, oh my days, what a time. But no, the way we were going to set up against Man City was kind of perfect for them. No, perfect against them because we're going to set up with three centre backs, two wing backs, two deep midfielders, two wingers, and a striker. Now that for me is good setting up by Jesse Marsh. I thought he had it right. Unfortunately, we suffered with an injury before the game kicked off, and then Stuart Dallas got injured early on in the game as well. He's out for probably a year now.
Yeah.
So you're talking about another injury there. Everything that could have gone wrong last weekend with Everton winning against Chelsea, Burnley coming back against Watford, everything that went wrong could have gone wrong did. So in terms of that, I expect Jesse to set up the same again. We're going to wait and see if Patrick Bamford's back. There's rumours that he'll be ready to play against Arsenal, which would be a huge boost that we've actually got a striker. But if failing that, Joe Gelhardt has to start. We have to play a striker up front and leave Dan James. He can't play up front. He's not a striker in any shape, way, or form, but he keeps being put up there, and it's just making him look bad. I know a lot of people don't rate Dan James, but he does a decent work on the wing, but up front, forget about it.
Yeah, no, I hear you. When you look at Arsenal in terms of nullifying our threat, we're a home team. People can say we're coming into this game in better form with the 3 wins. But like I said, you extend that to 6 games and you've got 3 wins yourselves and you've only lost one. So it's an interesting one to see how Leeds are going to bounce back from that Man City result and also the Everton result as well. Because, you know, us Arsenal fans, we've had one eye on, Tottenham and United results over the last few weeks and maybe couple months. Likewise with you guys and, the Evertons, Burnleys and whoever else has been in and around there. But who are you looking at in terms of nullifying the main threat Arsenal possess going into this game?
Is Saka's fit, right?
Yeah, well, it
Yeah.
hasn't been confirmed, but I assume so.
Okay, well, if Saka's fit, obviously he's a huge threat, and he's going up against Junior Firpo. I know a lot of your fans have got question marks over Tavares. It'd be funny if both Tavares and Junior Firpo start this game, just see which left back can outdo each other. But that's obviously going to be a bit of a battle, Saka versus Firpo, because Firpo, he's got a one crazy stat this season where I think he started 19 games or 16 or 19 games and he's got 10 yellow cards. And he gets those fairly early. So I imagine Mikel Arteta being someone like he is will target our left-hand side, which is fair. I also look at Odegaard too. Your midfield creativity in there. I think that could be a problem, but it's better now that we got Calvin Phillips back in there. He can probably help Marshall Odegaard. But you're looking out wide because we don't have very good wing backs in the team. Even when Dallas was playing, he wasn't good at left back this season. Unfortunately, he got injured just as we were about to play him in central midfield, which is crazy. But then we got Luke Ayling on the other side. So I think our wings are probably your best bet to try and attack.
Rafinha, how's he doing?
Rafinha's doing great, man. It'd be nice to see him on the score sheet a bit more, but that's that's cognizant of the team. That's not on him. We do need him to try and probably shoot a little bit more because everyone else is shot shy. It's crazy how many people don't shoot in this team. But when you look at his season overall in this struggling team, 10 goals, it's a good return in the team that he's in. And, he's given us everything before, whatever happens in the summer.
Yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, the left backs being areas of weakness for both sides going into this game. I mean, Saka's on one side for us and Rafinha's on the other side for you guys. And I guess, those are regularly picked out as the main threats for either side. I've done box to box with every game this season. And if I go back and count how many times it's been Saka, it's definitely the majority of times the opposition fan thinks, Saka's going to be the guy.
Yeah, because he's added some stuff to his game, hasn't he? Not only if he's not scoring, he's creating. Like he's adding strings to his bow every single game, and it's really good to see in such a young player, and he's building the confidence to be the man. I think he's even said that in a recent magazine, hasn't he? That he wants to be the man, and he's
Yeah.
going that way. He's going that way, and his performances are proving it. He isn't just talking about it; he's
He,
doing it. So shout
he
out to him.
scored against you guys in the first game, innit? In the
Who didn't
4-1.
score? Who
Saka.
didn't score?
Yeah, well, it was Martinelli
Martinelli twice.
2, Saka, and Emil Smith Rowe.
Yes, it was. Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So your young trio did us all in. In all fairness, though, we shouldn't have played that game. But hindsight's a wonderful thing.
Oh yeah, that was in and around all the COVID stuff going on.
Yeah,
Now all of a sudden there is no COVID and nothing's
yeah.
happening with it
It's
all.
just gone, hasn't it? It's just disappeared. So
Just like that, 4 or 5 months later. Mikel Arteta, KG. What do you make of what would you call it? Resurgence, silencing maybe a few doubters, a few haters, maybe. It'll be interesting to hear what you think outside looking in. My thoughts throughout the time. I've tried to be very balanced on him, which means sometimes I come
sitting on the
across.
fence.
Well, yeah, people say I sit on the fence. Some people say I love him, and some people say I hate him. Which I guess when you try and be balanced about something or someone, that's the accusations you're gonna get. But the reality is, I'm harsh sometimes when I feel like I need to be. I give praise at times when I feel like it's deserved and credit is due.
Yeah.
What do you make of it? Because I know your thoughts previously. I haven't spoken to you about Arteta in a long time. What do you think?
Yeah, he's going down the right path, isn't he? But the key will be if you do make the top four. That's going to be the real test. And I'm not just talking about the games in the Champions League. I'm talking about recruitment because he loves the young guns. He loves the young players that he can mold and make his own. But when you get in the Champions League, you need a bit of that stardust. And I just wonder if he's got it in him to handle big personalities. That's going to be his key. That's going to be his big test for me. I don't know if he's going to take you to the league title. I don't know if that's going to be possible under his management. But if he gets you in the Champions League, it's going to be very interesting because at the moment you're rolling with Lacazette and Nketiah. You're going to need better than that next season. And can he handle that? That's the thing because we've seen it so far from whether it be a young Guendouzi who didn't apologize or whatever it was. That was very early on. He got rid of him, but more recently, obviously, is Aubameyang. You've got to
Yeah.
replace that kind of output. It's going to be interesting to see if he does that.
Yeah, I mean, on that, whole sitting on the fence and balance thing, off the top of my head, I do the big six. You watch the big six. Arsenal have lost 11 games this season, which is unacceptable. In isolation, it looks mad. But then Arsenal have won 20, which is one more
Yeah,
than Chelsea and Thomas Tuchel have won over there, which in isolation, before the season starts, that would have been interesting come end of the season. So it's actually mad. Obviously, the failures of Tottenham and Man United throughout the season in terms of management changes, a lack of recruitment for United in January, and maybe not exactly what Conte wanted himself in January, has led us to lead the pack. Well, has partly led us to lead the pack.
yeah,
But recently, I've been asking a question because you mentioned it, top four. I completely agree with you in terms of if we make top four, which I'm confident we will now, I think we will. If we make it, it's more so about how we build in the summer.
yeah,
You highlighted the big names and quality. That would be interesting to see with Arteta because so far, the two big names he's had to deal with, Ozil and Oba, they've been shown the door. At the same time, I can understand why they were shown the door. Not because of what's happened behind the scenes, but more so because of on the football pitch, they wasn't necessarily performing to the standards they had previously set themselves.
yeah,
So it'd be interesting to see what he does with the next star he gets. Or hopefully we get through the door in the summer. Not too sure. Not too sure who that might be because Arsenal never tend to go for stars. Even in our glory days, we never went for stars. We tend to try and mold players into becoming stars. But we'll see. On
yeah.
your side this summer, Rafinha, Phillips. There's a few names there that last summer you done well to keep hold of. Any suggestions that anyone's up for grabs this summer? Any deals made last summer where it's maybe one more season and we'll let you go?
Well, I mean, listen. I mean, if we're talking relegation, then we can't expect Calvin to stay. I think it would be unfair to expect him to try and get us back up when his stock is super high right now. You know, he's an England regular, England Player of the Year. He's highly thought of, and it would be wrong to suggest that he would stay. Rafinha, whether we stay up or not, I think he's gone in the summer. Me personally, that's just my feeling. He deserves better. You know, he deserves way better than being in the 17th place team. And it's going to show, because I've said so many times that the guy's a superstar. As I say, the most exciting player we've had at the club since Harry Kewell. And I thought real high of him back in the day. If you remember Harry Kewell at his height at Leeds, he was amazing. Rafinha is that as well. And I think he's going to go. I think it's rumored, heavily rumored, Barcelona. Obviously, Deco's his agent, so there's a big link there as well. He's gonna go on to the next stage and show everybody what he's about with better players around him. There is worry about a few of our better players going, but it's also a chance. Either way this summer, we need to get rid of a few players like we should have done last summer, but they didn't do it, which is why we're in the position we're in right now.
Yeah.
You won't remember on the Bucks to Bucks, I mentioned Maitland-Niles. I said I'd love to get him on loan and help us out. No, he goes straight to Rome. What was it, the 4th of January? Very early on. We weren't even in for him. So it shows you the complacency that's been at the club this season. It's been awful.
Yeah, well, you can see it. You know, the proof's in the pudding. And you mentioned Harry Kewell. Yeah, I definitely remember the name. Him and Mark Viduka. You know, Mark Viduka.
Might try and wheel them back, man. I need them back.
Yeah, they caused us a couple of problems, I remember, in the past. But Kagey, let's end with predictions. What do you think the scoreline is going to be this Sunday afternoon at the Emirates?
See, my heart is saying 1-1. And I say that on the basis that these guys have got to play with the heart. Where the quality isn't there, they've got to give it everything. They've got to realise that they're all playing for their Premier League futures. A lot of them will never see the Prem again if they go down. So they've got to put everything into it. So it's 1-1. But my football head says that you're going to win 2-1.
Yeah. So you think it'll be a tight game? You think you're going to put up a fight? And
because the way that we're playing, from when I was on here before under Bielsa, where it was man to man, we're not doing that anymore. It's a lot more compact now. We play a lot more narrow these days. So it's not going to be as heavy as it was at Ellen Road. That result won't happen again. Kiss of death. That result won't happen again. Thank you, Schofield.
He's always watching. I'm confident we're going to win. That's not to say I'm dismissing Leeds, because I know you guys are up for it. And like I said, your recent form suggests, you're very much in the fight to stay up.
Mm.
You know me and Big Six. I love to go for a 3-1.
3-1.
We haven't had a clean sheet in a while either. But then, like you said, Bamford might be back. Let me go for a 2-0. I'll go for a 2-0 Arsenal win.
What I would say to the Premier League, though, is if you want to really make that game on Thursday versus Spurs a rating bonanza, maybe have a word with the ref, man. Give us something. Let's leave with something.
I see a lot of suggestions now that there's a lot of corruption amongst the league and referees in making sure the correct directions happen across the season and whatnot. So if you are listening, people out there that can have an impact, don't listen to Kagey. Just let us make top 4 for the first time in however many years it's been. I think it's been 5 years.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken. Crazy. The time just flown by.
Yeah.
Time just flown by. Kagey, let them know where they can find you before I wrap it up.
Yeah, I'm at Kagey Vision on YouTube. Kagey Vision, all one word, or if you just type in Kagey Leeds, you'll find my channel that way. And you can find me straight after the game also, whether it's a good or bad result, I'm there.
There you go, people. Obviously, I've tagged your channel in the title as well, so you can just click it, people, see the content and whatnot. Support the guys as always, helping us provide box to box every week, every game week throughout the whole season. We're nearly there at the end. Kagey, love for your time. People, hit the like button. Let us know in the comment section below your predictions, lineups, key battles, thoughts, all of that. I'll go through a few of the comments and reply personally. And before I go, love for the love, people. As always, peace.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat, and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.